When most people think about training hard, they're thinking that, okay, you need to train to failure on every set. And that's just not the case. There's a lot more intent and design to the process. It is intensity that separates pro bodybuilder from, the average run-of-the-mill, competitive bodybuilder or gym goer. There is a real system built into this routine as I layer in specific exercises for specific reasons. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to record your workouts. I'm not talking about using your iPhone to video your workout. What I'm doing is recording what you are actually doing. Sets, reps, working sets, so that you can see that your progressive overload is working, where you're plateauing out, and what's actually happening with your workouts. If you don't know where you've been, how do you know where you're going? It should go without saying, but you need to be hydrated throughout this whole routine. You should be hydrated before you start the routine, and you should be sipping on your EAAs during your routine. Your pre-workouts should have already been down 30 minutes before your workout. And having this hydration is going to give you the pump that you need to really get that muscle expanded and use all those fibers. With our first warm-up exercise and our first real working set exercise, the idea is to warm up that connective tissue and get that muscle moving and make sure that it's plenty warm. I'll probably do about 3 sets on the Pec Deck of 12 to 15 reps to make sure I get a really good stretch and a really good squeeze. Really push out and squeeze, and even on this warm-up set, I'm really stretching out that pec, and I squeeze it together. It's nice and lightweight, but I can already tell I got a pump, and that's what this is all about, that I want to make sure that I can get a pump throughout this whole workout. The exercise is going to be the hammer strength decline bench press. Why? Thank you for asking. Because I'm using a hammer strength machine so I can go a full range of motion. I can go to failure without hurting myself. An important thing to remember on this is when you're doing the actual exercise, your arm needs to follow the trajectory of the armature of the machine itself. So make sure that if the bar is moving this way, that your elbow is not driving up and down. You're pushing along with it. Since this is not a working set, this is 50% load. The objective of your first set is to make that mind-muscle connection. 1, 2, 3. 2, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3. Good, so I really feel that connection on this. When I get to the top, give it a good squeeze. So that was a 10-30 tempo, 1 second up, 3 count down. This is my second set. This is my first real working set. This is 70% of my load. I still want to get 10 to 12 reps, and I've got 2 more in the tank. I might take it, and I might end up not considering this a first working set. If it feels like it's too light, then yeah, you've got to do another set. The important thing to remember about your first working set is this is not a set to failure. We just want to get a lot of intensity out of it. We want it to be in control, good form, and have 1 or 2 left in the tank. That's the purpose of it. So let's get it on. 10, I got 2 more. 11. 12. Good. So I got 12 out of that. Normally I'd want 10. For some reason that cup of coffee really kicked in on me and that felt good. I knew I probably only had 1, maybe 2 more with good form, so I'm happy with that being my first working set. All right, I'm about to do my 3rd set, which is my second working set. This set should be to failure. My last rep is the last rep that I can do with good form. Ugly sets are gonna get you hurt.
Never do an ugly set. Your money sets are your last 2 sets. This is the one where your body is forced to adapt and make change and grow. You are not going to get stronger forever. Not every week are you going to be able to add weight. When you're a beginner, you should be able to add weight for a long time. As an intermediate, you're going to start slowing down, and that's when you need to examine the timing of your workout, meal timing, and especially your technique. Now, if you're an advanced lifter, you're just going to get to a point where the mass of your body cannot move any more mass. If you're an enhanced athlete, that's going to help you push a little harder. I just make sure that I get to failure, and that's all that counts. That's going to create the adaptation for my body to change. Fine. I did not have one more in me. That was the ideal working set for me. Whew. I feel that.
I hope you found this information useful, so please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out a lot. And you can also follow me on Masters Muscle.
For our second exercise, I like to do an incline bench press. Now, if you are young and you still have really good shoulders, I would actually prefer that you do this as a compound motion, meaning that you're using an incline bench press with a barbell. But I don't have good shoulders anymore, so I prefer not to do it. Now, my first choice would to be a straight Smith machine because I want a unilateral movement instead of bilateral movement. But right now, both Smith machines are tied up, so I'm going to use the hammer string. So it offers the same type of advantages that the hammer string decline did, that I can do this to failure without worrying about hurting myself, and I don't have to worry about full range of motion because I can get a full range of motion and a good squeeze on this one as well. If you're doing an incline bench press on a Smith machine or as a compound motion, I really prefer it if you can get the seat to like a 25 to 30 degree angle. Once you go over that, you're really working your front delts a lot more than you should be. So this incline is kind of high, but sometimes you just have to use what you got. I want you to realize that you still have to make the mind-muscle connection on every single one of these exercises. So my first set for this is going to be 50% of my max load. I'm going to tempo it out, and I'm going to make sure that I get a really good squeeze and I make a really good mind-muscle connection. And I want to make one more comment about using a compound motion, like using a barbell. I know some guys literally just cannot make that mind-muscle connection with the bar because they haven't learned how to squeeze with the bar yet. If you cannot make that connection, don't use it, man. Use a machine or practice with lightweight till you can use a bar and still feel that squeeze. This is my workout partner's Abdullah's second working set. There you go. Drive it. 2, 3, 4. Come on. 5. Get one more. Push. I think we got him to failure. All right, this is my last working set on the incline, and this has got to be 100% load. Ideally, I'd like to get 10 to 12. I have a feeling that's not going to happen, but if I can get 8 to 10, that would be great. Now, if I was doing this as a compound, like a barbell, there are no ugly reps. Your last rep is your last pretty rep. An ugly rep on a compound exercise is an exercise that is going to hurt you. So never do that. Leave your ego in the basket in the lobby of the gym. Nobody cares. Your shoulders and your health are far more valuable.
This is the set that is going to make my body adapt. And so I have to give it all the intensity and focus that I've got. I want to make sure that all the reps are pretty and there's just nothing left in the tank.
That was the failure. That was a good working set. That's what it should look like. Our third exercise is back to the pec deck. So we've already really pushed the muscle hard with the incline press and the decline press. So now with the pec deck, we're really going to stretch and squeeze that muscle and get it totally fatigued out. We also need to have a totally safe piece of equipment for this. So that's why I use a pec deck. So with the first set of this, once again, I'm going to be using a 50% load. I'm going to be doing probably 12, sometimes 15 reps if I feel like it's too light. But I want to make sure that I squeeze really hard at the top of the motion, by putting my hands together, as you've seen, and I want to get a really good stretch. Just going to do 12. Good stretch. I like that. So this is Abdullah's second set. He's going to do 10, gets a good stretch and squeezes there at the top. This is 70% of his load. So we really want to stretch and squeeze this set. So this is almost the failure because our objective here is to activate. We want to really load and exhaust that at that chest. This is my second working set, or first working set in this, really. So I always, once again, I want to pull my butt away from the seat. I'm pushing my shoulder blades together, and I want to have a hand position that's still around nipple level. So I don't want to be high. And this is going to put me in the best biomechanical position as well. So I'm going for 10 on this one, and I'm going to get a good squeeze and a good stretch. 2, 3, 4. Notice how I use my open hands and push forward. 8, 9. Oh yeah, I'm pushing. As my last working set on this pec deck. The idea is to stretch and totally fatigue and go to failure. It should be 100% failure, ladies and gentlemen. Elvis has left the room. So if you're an advanced lifter, I would have your training partner do partials, negatives, and isometric holds on this. If you're beginner, intermediate, I wouldn't worry about that. So this is 160, so my rep range is 6 to 8. So let's see what happens. Let's shake it up and watch it fizz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey! Oh! Oh! Go! Whoo! That makes me see double. That was the failure. That's the way a set should end. Which is a high to low. The important thing about this exercise is that we get a really big stretch and a really big squeeze. And it is really important that your shoulders are thoroughly warmed up before you ever attempt this. We can do this in 2 sets. If you don't feel like you've pushed hard enough, do it in 3. So I want to get, as I pull it down, I want a hard squeeze right here, like you're the Incredible Hulk. But your pants have to stay on. Very last working set for chest today. So if you have bum shoulders and it's really heavy to pull down, get somebody to help pull these down into place for you. Once again, never compromise your joints for anything. I don't care if you're shy, go to somebody, get some help to do this, because it's never worth injuring your shoulders for an exercise. Good. Oh God. So glad that is over with. So I hope you have seen what focus and intensity should be like when working your chest. So this routine has, somewhat of a low volume. Now, if you come up to me or send, put a comment in there, well, what do you do next? You shouldn't be able to do a next. If you have truly given your 100% effort and you have made it to failure, then you have literally done all that you need to do. As Lee Haney said, the objective is to stimulate, not annihilate. So if you feel like you can still do more, then that means you haven't given me all you got. Am I right? Every movement that we did was planned out with a very specific intention and focus. And with that intensity, that is how you're going to get the job done. Contrary to popular belief, it is not just your body that you are working out. Your brain must be engaged as well. All kidding aside, you need to have your brain engaged, A, for the focus on what you're doing. You're not looking at your phone between every set. And it also needs to be engaged in your program design. Why am I doing this exercise? What is it for? Am I using it to its best ability? So a workout is for your body and your brain together. Do you feel like you need help with your program design? Have you plateaued out, or you have just reached a level where you don't know where to go next? That's where I come in. You can hire me to help you with your programming. If you want one-on-one coaching here at Anarchy in Owings Mills, Maryland, I would like to work with you. I also do online nutrition, so if you're having problems with dieting, gaining weight, or you need prep coaching, that's what I'm here for. Just leave your name below in the comment section and we'll reach out.